Welcome to the Just Do It podcast, hosted by Anne Duffy. Dental Entrepreneur Women is here to dive deep and share stories with the mission to inspire, highlight, empower, and connect all women in dentistry.
Hi, everyone. It's Anne Duffy. Welcome to the Just Do It podcast. I'm so happy you're here today. And I'm really happy to have one of my favorite people in the whole world guesting for us today. I reached out to her just a few days ago and said, hey, I would love you to be on our podcast. And so here we are, we got scheduled, and we've known each other for quite some time. She's just a delight. And she actually reminds me of me when I was a younger me, dental hygiene, a dental hygienist myself, but just she's dreaming big at her young age. And I just can't wait to watch her career. Let me give you a little glimpse of her bio. And let me ask you this. Do you know anyone that simply loves to be a dental hygienist? Well, please meet Brandi Hooker Evans, RDH-ER, MHE from Idaho, USA. This gal is equipped to enhance your career satisfaction, no matter your position on the team. Her enthusiasm is contagious and uplifting. Her information, evidence-based, and clinically established. Please help me welcome my dear, dear friend, Brandi Hooker Evans. Hey, Brandi.
Hey, Anne, good morning. And for all of you dudes out there listening, you know that when your fairy godmother calls and says, can you do it? You say, I sure can. I will do it all day with you, Anne.
Oh, I love it. And yeah, our new tagline from the last retreat was, let's do it. And, I love, first of all, the energy that you bring in and so many things that you're doing in your career. But Brandi, I want to have our listeners know a little bit about you. Of course, you're very successful with Stellar Outcomes. It's a study club that you've developed over the years. So you've been doing that, but I want to go back to the beginning. Like, how did you get involved in dental hygiene to begin with? Because I honestly forget, because we talked about that so long ago when we first met. So what enticed you to get into dental hygiene back in the day?
So I grew up with my uncle being my dentist and my auntie being the office manager. And when it was time for my checkup and cleaning, I went and stayed the night at my grandma's house, got my teeth cleaned, and then got donuts from the M&W in Nista, Oregon. Afterwards, and I just fell in love with it and had so many questions all the time. And in high school, I decided in 8th grade that I wanted to be a hygienist. And, my aunt and uncle cheered me on the whole way. And I just thought, what a perfect way to earn some good money. I wanted to be a mom. I wanted to have a flexible schedule, which, by the way, who says that dental hygiene is flexible? Like, are you kidding me? I don't know that that's a thing, but we all sign up thinking, oh, I have a flexible schedule. And anyway, so I just always journeyed towards that and had a love for it from day one. And I think that one of the things I love most about dental hygiene is that I'm able to help people get healthy, have better lives, and take care of them, serve them well. And I don't have to wipe any bums, right? Because nursing's the other option if you're kind of in that personality. And so I feel like dental hygiene worked perfect.
Maybe the best of everything. The one thing I love about hygiene, I know you're a people person, you really get to develop a deep relationship with your patients because you see them for, at least an hour every 6 months, every 3 months, if you're in perio treatment. But I mean, that builds relationships after a while. It's really special. I have to say, being retired now from clinical hygiene after 45 years, I miss that. I miss knowing about so many different career paths, about so many different ideas, all the moms that came in helped me raise my kids. And I feel like, as I'm a sage mother now, I've got grandkids on the way. I think I've helped some of my patients or help raise their kids. I mean, it's just such a beautiful community. And I think it's something we don't talk about when we're in dental school, or dental hygiene school. You don't even realize that's going to happen in your career, but it's really special.
It's so special. And I had the opportunity to work yesterday clinically, and it's always so fulfilling. I don't do it full time anymore because I do quite a few other things. But, I had this gal come in and she had some bleeding that she was concerned about. And so I think that traditionally as a hygienist, you're like, oh, I'm so excited. I'm going to clean up the tartar and teach her how to brush and floss better in that one area. And she sat down and shared with me that she is actually on a journey with her nutrition. And so, we got to the bottom of what was bothering her with the bleeding gums, but the conversation that we had, and she felt so supported and loved as I lit up, because nutrition is one of my favorites. And she shared with me where she was going, and I was like, oh gosh, I've been down this road, and these are a couple of my favorite things. And we had this robust conversation that was so fun for both of us. And teeth were, we did a little teeth, and it was wonderful. But her taking care of herself and taking the time to choose the foods that are going to bless her body and her taste buds at the same time is going to help her entire body, including her gums. And so I just feel really grateful for the opportunity to build relationships that, while yes, we're definitely serving oral health, it's so much bigger than that, Anne.
It really is. And I know that you're so inspired by that. You're always learning, you're always digging a little bit deeper for that oral systemic connection, but it's actually mind, body, spirit, isn't it? Because you can be yourself, you can share a lot of different things that you believe in. And I would imagine that was a defining moment for your patient, and she will carry that on. That's a great way to, referral, because hey, you need, she's falling in love with you, with the practice and everything that goes along with it. But I know you're working on a lot of things, and you've got a big family, you're always upbeat, and I know that you pick and choose what really inspires you. So what are you working on right now, Brandi, that is inspiring you to the fullest extent?
Oh, to the fullest. I think that the biggest thing that I am working on right now is being very present in the moment and being okay with when it's hard, and figuring out how to sit in pain and not feel like I have to be joyful every single step of the way, and just leaning into the experiences, both good and positive, in the middle, and trying to find the blessings everywhere. Because as we're working in our professional and personal career, it's easy to get caught up thinking that everything has to be perfect 100% of the time, and that if you aren't and you don't have those things, then something's wrong and you need to seek help and get someone to get you out of it. And I think that's a lie I've told myself for a long time, because when I look back at my life, Anne, and all of the really hard things that I've gone through, the crappy days, the open up the email and it says, nah, we don't want you to speak at our conference. Or you hear from the doctor like, nah, I don't think we're going to have you coach us right now. Or, your kids go against your value, whatever the thing is. I used to always be so worried that there was this huge event, and that I needed to process it and figure it out and
fix
really
it. Fix it. Yeah.
But really, it was blessing me with the ability to sit with normal life. And then all the worst days of my life have also turned around to be where I've been the biggest blessing in other people's life that are going through something similar. Whether it be divorce or that rejection letter or whatever. My darkest days have also been my brightest sources of light.
Which is wonderful that you can look at it that way. That takes a bit of maturity to get there. How'd you get there?
I feel like blood, sweat, and tears, right? There's no other way to get there. And then the other thing I truly believe with my whole heart, and I would ask everyone to excuse vocabulary and just sit with me on this idea for a moment, that the universe, and I usually refer to him as God, is conspiring to help us. I really believe that if we trust that these things are happening for us, not to us, then we can thrive no matter the circumstance, despite and because of the circumstance. And so I've just really been working on trusting that whether things are good or bad, that they are happening for me, not to me or against me.
That's a mind shift. That's a mind shift. And I do think, well, of course, I think that helps, you know, what is the old saying, turning lemons into lemonade. And it does tend to keep you from being a victim of things that are happening to you, because a lot of times we have no control of a lot of the things that do happen to us. I mean, some things, yes, but the majority of things that happen that aren't good, it's kind of out of our control. I know you do your best, and then whatever happens or whatever circumstances are presented to you, your only thing is to figure out how to handle it, right? And so you can choose to handle it with scarcity mentality, anxiety, depression, all of those things. And I don't know if that makes it seem kind of, not counting that, depression is a real thing. So not everybody nobody chooses to be depressed, right?
100%.
If you study and you read positive things and you hang around positive people, how do you stay trusting and positive about things that aren't so great that happen?
Well, first, I try to surround myself with really, really great people. And I keep reminding myself that I don't have to do anything alone. I have a whole team. And when I find out someone doesn't want to be on my team for whatever reason, then that's okay too. But I feel like having a community and realizing that everyone from the girls and boys you go to yoga with, to the grocery store checkout, to the people at your church or on your hike, all of those people are on your team and they are excited to see you do well. And on that note, I want to share a little story with you, Anne. The other day, another hygienist reached out to me, or she posted something that she was interested in being a continuing education provider. And so I messaged her a few times and I was like, hey, do you have 10 minutes? Because I was excited to share with her my journey, how I became a continuing education provider. And she messaged me back and said, well, just to be clear, I'm a coach too. Like, the scarcity came in neon shining lights of, you don't have to share your secrets with me because I'm your competition. And I, of course, messaged back, girl, you're not my competition, you're my sister. And I am so excited and grateful for Dew, because I finally feel like I'm in a room where my dream has come true, because I have been living that truth my whole life. And I think that in the process, I've had, men and women both not be that for me, even though I trusted them to be that. I wanted them to be that. I believed that it was possible. It wasn't until I was in the room with Dew where all of a sudden I wasn't too much and I wasn't too loud and I wasn't the competition. I was the sister. And I was like, this is what I've been dreaming and living, at the risk of being hurt and betrayed. And I have been hurt and betrayed living that way. But now I have that community. And I would just invite anyone that's listening to, like, look around, call a Dew, call a dude, use that community. And I do love to read. So I think that wonderful books are such a blessing in this world. But utilize the people that are there, and the ones that are supposed to be will be there even when it's hard. And the ones that aren't, they'll fall away on their own, and it will hurt every single time.
Yeah.
But sitting in the room where those people are your sisters and your brothers, period, it's a reality and it's possible.
Yeah, and I think as we get bigger, like we always say, I love Call of Duty, because that if I'm in a spot or I'm stuck, yeah, I'll just I'll call Brandi. I'll say, hey, what's happening? And just because I know I'm going to get the support, and the universe is so big and we're all different, and especially coaching. And I hope that your answer to that young person, I'm going to say young because she's not thinking clearly, came to her, and a realization, and maybe another defining moment that you gave to her, that, hey, we're all in this together. Support each other. That's the only way. That's just the only way. I feel like that we're all going to strive to get where we want to go. And that's how Dew is. Like, we were just started to raise women. And if we don't come together and support each other, we're never going to get ahead, never going to get a seat at the table, and never going to have this great career. It's been so much fun getting to know everybody and having that lovely support. And I like that that's a thread, if you will, with our community, that it is, everyone's welcome. And like you say, you may not stay, and that's okay, but we'll be here for those that come, behind you anyway, in any way, and anything we can possibly do for that. But okay, so Stellar Infusion Study Club. I'm so impressed with your study club. I love jumping on that. Tell us when it is. When is it? It's once a month.
It's once a month from September to April. And it's always on a Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain. And the dates vary. So next time is February 2nd. So next Thursday. And Katrina Sanders is going to be my guest speaker. I know. Like, and
Bring the wine. Bring the wine. Oh, I love her so much.
Oh gosh, I've been so fortunate to have, I've taught several of the classes, and then I've also had other friends that have come on and guest spoke, because I think that when continuing education is considered for dentists, dental hygienists, and the rest of the amazing dental team, my specialty is awesome, and I need to learn more about other things, even if they're not my jam and not what I'm going to incorporate, just to feel that zest and that excitement for the profession. I mean, we had Cheryl Schaefer on and talked about
that was so good, by the way. Let me
Thank
pop it. I loved that. And I think they can continue to listen to these, right? I mean, it's not like it's just a one and done. You have a recording. Where do you find that was just recording? Because if you haven't listened to that one with Cheryl Schaefer, that was so awesome, because you brought in your family. Real, everyone thinks, oh my God, how can our kids have a tongue tie until they're 15, or whatever, or adults, or like our sisters and our brothers? I mean, like, how can that happen? And because we're not learning, and we're not growing as much. And someone like Cheryl comes in and says, this is something that's so easy, and there's a way to fix it, right? I mean, then we find that way. That was so cool when you had her on.
It was so fun, and it was great to watch my daughter also feel like she could step in and share her story and know. And I hope that she saw that part of sharing your story isn't sharing that you won. It's sharing that you were also in a hard spot. So anyway, that's just a side note on that. But with the myofunctional therapy, it gets me very excited about being a dental hygienist, because it stands to reason that our bodies want to work, and they want to work correctly. And there are simple, easy things that we can do to support our body to work correctly that don't entail, surgery, medication, all those things. And what's beautiful about where we live now is that if we can tap into the ancient understanding of how the body should work correctly, apply those principles, those exercises, nutrition, mindsets, etc. Now we also have Western medicine for when, for whatever reason, nature dropped the ball and we do need some assistance and some intervention. And so marrying those two beautiful, supportive, wonderful ways of helping our bodies thrive just gets me so excited, and gets me to excited to go to work the next day. And I don't have a myofunctional therapist in Pocatello, so I don't necessarily have the whole answer for every patient I see, but I'm so excited to start a conversation, and I'm excited to put my loops on, which I think is critical for all of us professionals. Doesn't matter your profession. You got to get excited to put those clothes on.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why you are continuing to love your profession and do so well. I would just really let everybody know to make sure that you tune in next Thursday for Katrina and Brandi. But of course, I don't know. This won't be. I don't think this will be out in time, Brandi. So just can go back. I asked that question, but I didn't get the answer. How will they find, like, say, your recording with Katrina after the fact?
If they go to brandihookerevans.com // study club, then they can sign up for the study club. And once that they're a member of that, they have access to all the videos. We just started our 7th season.
Wow.
With where to put the perio, period. Oh, I love that class. And I taught that one, because me and perio, we're like house. Which I do want to share one thing about that with you. But anyway, so once they are signed up, then all they have to do, they'll get an access email. They just email me what class that they want, or if they want a handful of them, and I send the links to them directly. So brandihookerevans.com/study club. And then once you're on that, then you have access to all my resources and things that I am delighted to share, because I want this to be in everyone's hands. If I can do something to be supportive, then I'm excited.
I know, and I can't believe it because they're always free. So if you're listening, click into this because they're free, and she supported that. And I think, gosh, when I was on there were, I don't know, 100 people on there the last time I was on one of your study clubs, and I'm like, that is amazing. And the quality of people that you attract, honestly, Brandi, it doesn't surprise me because, again, you attract those kind of people that want to learn and grow and have the curiosity of making this profession better and better. Because if you just stay so stagnant, it just, oh my God, no, if someone doesn't like this profession, then they haven't dipped into all the opportunities that are available. And so that's a choice that they have to make. So if you feel a little bit stuck, connect.
Yeah, let's link arms, because I might have a friend or a topic that will just get you excited. And sometimes being excited about dentistry isn't necessarily doing dental or dental hygiene or dental assisting or front office care. There's a lot of spin-offs from that. But I do love to support the whole team. And I hope it's a safe place for people to come and feel like they can share freely without judgment, because that's how you learn. Like you said, Brandi, how'd you get to this mind frame? And I'm like, well, I mean, I put a lot of years and work into it, and I've actively sought the goodness because I believe it's there. And I think the moment that you lose hope for fill in the blank, whatever it is in your life, is the moment that it's, that piece kind of dies. And I like to be alive, and I don't want to be dead.
I know. And so let's get a little Brandi. Oh, that sounds good. Let's have a little Brandi every day. A little dose of Brandi would be so.
I'm in. I actually do really love some Brandi, so we can have it. And my name means warm and comforting, or burning wine. Can't you just see like the dichotomy? I love that two things can be true at the same time.
No, I think it's so great to know yourself that well. So okay. So what do you wish it would like to see change in the profession? Because you're an advocate for dental hygiene. I mean, they've been leaving in droves. And yeah. I don't know how you feel. And we talked about this on the coffee chat yesterday. I kind of feel like a lot of hygienists that left for a while will be coming back. But what do you think we need to change in our profession?
I think that, and this goes to our world, I think we have to stop believing only one thing can be true at once, and that you have to sit with people you agree with politically, spiritually, professionally. I completely disagree with that, because the fact is we're building up walls instead of paving roads. And we are working in a sick care system. We don't have a healthcare system for dental or medical at all. It's a sick care cycle that's doing this. And then as we've added social media and things, now we're doing sick mental care. We're like in this negative feedback that we just can't get out of. And so my thought, something that I think would just heal, and more than a thought, it's a belief, Anne, if we can learn to sit at the table with people that we disagree with, people that have hurt us, people that we don't see eye to eye on, and have a conversation that is safe and kind and caring, that does not have the goal of 100% agreement. When we can do that, then the hygienists don't have to be at war with the dentist. The right-sided hygienist doesn't have to not stand her left-sided patients. When we start going down where all of these people have built up walls and said, oh, you agree with me, come on my side of the wall, here we are, and then we're gonna throw darts at the people that are on the other side of the wall because they suck. Like, we see this negative feedback loop in these walls that are preventing everything from our profession moving forward, to proper ways of insurance reimbursement, to how to politically figure out what the right thing to do in our town is for our schools, right? Like, so that's my hope for healing, is to start hanging out and linking arms with people that you don't necessarily agree with. Because if you put yours and theirs together, again, our road is going to be paved so much better because we're looking at these issues from more than one side and we're working together. And it doesn't mean that you have to adore and have Brandi with them after each meeting, but my goodness, can we get some progress going by linking up with
Oh
people?
my gosh, I love the fact the vision of not to quit building up walls and start paving roads. That's a beautiful metaphor. And I also love the idea that, it's a win-win then. Everybody can voice their opinion, it's kind of like goes back to strengths. Like, those aren't, I have other gifts. I have other thoughts, and that's okay. We're allowed to do that, and we can win together, and at least be respectful of giving people the benefit of the doubt. This is how they were. We don't know where people come from. We don't know what they've been through. And I think just allowing people to have their own thoughts, and that's okay. And I'm going to learn something from that, right? I mean, because we don't listen, do we? We listen to like, we think we're at a war, like you have to come to my side. I love that. I think the world would be such a better place. But that leads with your love, Brandi, which is evident. You wear that on your heart and on your sleeve, and your hopefulness that it can be a better place, and we need more of that.
Well, I've dreamed it to fruition before, so I'm going to dream it to fruition again. And I think that once you have those hard conversations, the trick, Anne, and this is where we build a wall instead of a road. We forget to honor people in their absence when they leave. And so what would it be like if we could saddle up and have safe conversations with everyone that wants to contribute? I mean, and then when they left, what if there was no backbiting? What if we left it? What if we truly held that space sacred for the fact that everyone is different, everyone gets to have their own opinion, we're going to work together. And then when we leave, you don't have to feel like you've got to watch your back, or you've got to worry what was said, or you have to hope that everyone had their own cars and we're driving away separately because now you're going to get bashed for sharing something so vulnerable. So
that's
anyway,
a beautiful thing. I love that you're sharing this. So it's just so sweet. And you know what? I believe it too. I think that we can share, hey, it starts with two. And that is our community, right, Brandi? I mean, you bring that to us every time we're together, the unity and the love, and it all stems from, the love in your heart. And I just, it's just been such an honor having you on here today. I hope that anyone that's listening has taken a few nuggets from this conversation. I feel a little lighter. I honestly can't stop smiling right now, knowing that, you're in the world, you're making a difference in so many big ways, So reach out to Brandi. Brandi, how else can they get in touch with you? I know Stellar Outcomes, but if somebody wants to just have a little chit chat with you to make them have a better day, how do they get in touch with you?
So they can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Stellar Outcomes. My website is brandihookerevans.com. And then my personal phone number, I am happy to be a resource, is 208-244-2141. And I would love to be a support, share anything that I can. I will not be your competition, no matter what you're doing. And I just wanted to tell you, thank you, and share something that I'm very, very proud of that I'm working on, that it was inspired by you to be brave and to start writing down and publishing my work. I've got a book that I'm working on that's going to get to come to life sometime. And I wanted you to know that you were part of the teeny tiny community that inspired me to believe in myself and my work, and to be brave enough to put something that's going to be available for so much criticism out there. So thank you again for
I can't wait. Do you have a
light
title
in my world.
You have a title yet, or are you still noodling on that?
I'm still noodling on that, but it will be something like cookie cutter care or stop it, or, again, I love to work in the perio world and help hygienists have great days. So that's coming. And I'm hoping that as we sit in January 2023, before December comes, I can have a little party with you that it's
we'll have a
out
book
and
sign-
about.
We'll have a book signing. Oh, I can't wait to read it. I know that it'll be one of those books I'll read cover to cover before I put that thing down. So that's something to look forward to for all of us. If you're listening today, just again, thank you, Brandi, for being here. And most importantly out there, all of you, please keep doing you. Love you, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks,
Bye.
Brandi.
Thanks, Anne.
Thank you for listening to the Just Do It podcast, hosted by Anne Duffy. To learn more about dental entrepreneur women, to share your story, or to join the movement, please visit our website, dew.life. That is DEW.life. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcasting app to make sure you don't miss an episode. And in the meantime, keep doing you.